The images force an uncomfortable national reckoning. Diplomats in the Indian High Commission are living under siege, fearing the next outburst of Islamist rage. This even as outside Bangladeshi Hindus are far game and fair game. A new video has emerged that shows Deepu Das begging for his life. Look at those pictures. He is pleading with Bangladeshi police to shield him, but they cold-bloodedly hand him over to the Islamist mob to be lynched on a false pretext. This, my friends, is state-sanctioned lynching. You can see him saying, please save me, save me. I'm innocent, I haven't done anything. Something, of course, that the Bangladesh authorities have now confirmed, that he didn't actually do anything. He never wrote anything that was insulting of the Prophet or of the faith. And he was lynched on a false pretext. But viewers, a state police that is supposed to protect you from the mob hands you like a trophy to the mob. In the country's capital, Dhaka, Islamists, including Pakistani Taliban, are on the streets. Yes, viewers, Pakistani Taliban, agents of the ISI, are marching with their own flag, the flag of Pakistan, alongside Bangladeshi Islamists in the heart of Dhaka, calling for the breakup of India, for the liberation of Kashmir. In Bangladesh, viewers, Islamist fury has been allowed a chilling free run. A free run that has brought out Hindi groups onto the streets here in India. You can see them. There they are, viewers, today. But the operative phrase here is Hindu groups. Yes, Hindu groups belonging mostly to the saffron folk. Indeed, viewers, when a Muslim is killed anywhere in the world, a familiar pattern follows. Hashtags trend within minutes, candle marches appear overnight, statements pour in from activists and academics, and politicians who claim moral authority over the idea of human rights. But when a Hindu is lynched, next door, or even in this country, when Islamist violence threatens India's own territorial integrity, that same ecosystem is suddenly missing in action. No outrage, no marches, only silence or worse, rationalization. Indeed, viewers, the Congress party's member of parliament has rationalized the lynching. What has he come out and said? He says attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh are a reaction to atrocities against Muslims in India. Situation in India and Bangladesh is the same. Viewers, if you ever wanted to give Muhammad Yunus a clean chit, here it is from Digvijay Singh, Member of Parliament, sworn, viewers, to serve our constitution, not the Republic of Bangladesh. And another senior Congress leader, Rashid Alvi, he also rationalizes. He says there is a fundamentalist government in Bangladesh and in India. In Bangladesh, Hindus are being attacked, and in India, mosques are being attacked. Muslims are being bulldozed. So everything presumably is okay, viewers. Even in 2019, India didn't stand as one. Deepu Das might not have been lynched had he had the option to seek citizenship in India. But the Citizenship Amendment Act, or the CAA, could have been his ticket to life, but the law was opposed by the very same ecosystem that lectures the country regularly on human rights. This entire ecosystem is missing in action, even though it was out on the streets bemoaning the death of Hamas and Hezbollah radicals. Look at those pictures, viewers. So Hezbollah radicals and terrorists you can come out for, but not against Islamists who are threatening the very idea of India. In Kolkata today, the police that stood by when Muslim mobs protested the Waqf bill today use their Laathis to punish visibly anxious and peacefully protesting Hindu groups. Look at the way they were left, viewers. Beaten, bruised. Why? Because they were standing up for their own country. This is not about religion. This is about consistency. You cannot claim to stand for humanity only when it suits your politics. If outrage depends on the victim's identity, then it is not outrage at all. It is moral hypocrisy. If we claim to speak for humanity, then shouldn't we be speaking for all humanity? Because when a man begs for his life, or a people face an existential threat from a bigoted outlook, like they are today, viewers, in Bangladesh, and the world looks away, silence is complicity. And therefore, tonight we're going to ask some questions. And I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to first start with Syed Fazal Kashani, political analyst. Mr. Kashani, thank you very much for joining us here. I wish you were out on the streets joining the rest of the country in protesting what is going on in Bangladesh. But people in the Congress party, the wider ecosystem, are creating a narrative that, well, you know, it's okay because the same kind of minority bashing happens here, so this is a reaction in Bangladesh. The same thing that was said by Kashmiri politicians, by a whole stripe of Congress politicians, by this so-called left liberal ecosystem, when recently the Red Fort attack happened, viewers. They said, well, radicalization, well, how do you stop it when Muslims are feeling persecuted? I want to ask you, sir, humanity is under attack. Are you going to still look for the religion of the victim to exercise your outrage? I cannot understand. Where is this moderate Muslim, this ummah of moderates? You see, yesterday, viewers, I attacked the government for doing little. Today, I have to ask questions of our own people. If we are not united, Mr. Kashani, in the face of what is an existential threat, perilously staring at us, when will we ever be? Are you going to still look for religion?
Well, Rahul, first of all, let's not give this a religious angle. If I talk about my religion, it clearly says that any innocent killed anywhere in the world is a murder of humanity. So whatever is happening in Bengal, Bangladesh, we all condemn it, and it shouldn't happen. But at the same time, I want to ask this to the government or the representatives of the central government, that what has the government done for the Hindus of Bangladesh? What policies are they adopting? Talking about people in India not uniting against Bangladesh, let me make it very clear that everybody who is a true Indian is against whatever is happening in Bangladesh. It shouldn't happen. And be that in any country, extremism is not a solution. Extremism of any religion is not a solution. We have seen incidents here. We condemn incidents happening in India. Similarly, we can condemn incidents happening in Bangladesh as well. Let's not give it a religious angle.
Sir, do you support the CAA?
No, I don't.
Viewers, why was the CAA brought in? The CAA was brought in so that Hindus, and who brought it in? The NDA in 2019. Why? Because the Hindus, viewers, the Sikhs, the Christians in 3 Islamic countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh, were being threatened to the point of extinction. In Bangladesh, viewers, the population has come down from 12% to 2%. And I'm not going to sit here and say to you that it is worse now than it was ever before. It's been bad for Hindus consistently. Hindus have had to leave Bangladesh over the decades. And the idea was for them to come here and get citizenship, become stakeholders in a land which is basically, viewers, the cradle of the Hindu civilization. And these people opposed the law. They opposed it.
Oh, we don't want a news anchor to
they opposed the law.
For...
They opposed the law. Listen, I'm not talking to you. And don't bring me this BJP nonsense here, okay? Because I'm the only one who's going to be talking about Akhlaq. Even you won't.
We don't
so keep your mouth shut.
We don't need certificates.
Now, Mr. Kashani, I want to ask you, how many people today in Kashmir, how many Muslim moderates from the PDP, from the NC came out today and protested? Or yesterday or day before for Mr. Das? for the
I am
Indian,
not-
for the
I
Indian,
am
one
not
minute, for the Indian embassy that was attacked or high commission that was attacked? How many of you came out? Give me the numbers.
Okay. First of all, I am not the spokesperson of
Give me
NC
the
or
numbers.
PDP.
Give me the numbers.
Secondly-
You have two
secondly,
eyes.
how many-
Do you have two eyes?
how-
Yes or no?
How many
Do you have
outreaches
two eyes? Yes or no?
Let me answer. Let me
I'm
answer.
asking
let
you,
me
sir,
answer.
instead of doing
Let me
whataboutery night after night,
No,
I'm
let
asking you a
me-
specific question. You told me that you do not support extremism. So tell me, sir, how have you shown that you do not support
Let
extremism? I'm
me-
talking about you personally. Tell me.
Let me-
How have you shown that
Let
you
me-
do
let me-
not... No, 1 second. I want to ask you, sir, please. I want to ask you this specific question. And don't take me into some other little roundabout. Answer the question that I'm asking you. Don't go back on whataboutery. If the other
Okay,
side
yes.
is bad, if the other side is bad, doesn't mean that you have to be bad. You can take the moral high ground. Is it not right? So I'm asking you, sir, did you today come out and protest? Did you come out yesterday? Did you come out with 5 neighbors? Have you even put out an ex post? Show me.
Listen, Rahul. Whether I come out or not, I don't have to show it to you. I don't need a certification
Did
from you.
you come out? I'm asking
On the
you a
contrary,
question.
I want to
Did
ask
you
you,
come
how
out?
many times have you asked this to BJP that we project Mr. Modi as the world leader? How many nations has reached about the Hindus, whatever is happening with Hindus in Bangladesh? How many world leaders has he reached? Modi traveling from one country to another.
What are
How
you
many
talking
countries
about,
has he gained
Mr. Kashani?
our
What
support
are you
for?
talking about? The CA was brought by whom? Why was the CA brought?
No,
No,
the
no,
CA,
no, no,
the
no.
CA,
No what? No what? No what?
No,
No
let
what?
me answer. Let me answer. Let me answer. The CA,
You
the
know, you
CA
chaps
and
have made a
RC bill
business.
was
You chaps
particularly
have
brought
made
to-
a business about being
Oh, we
silent
don't-
selectively. You have made it a business. You are profiting from it. You are profiting from death.
Only if
It's
that
a charge.
convinces you, Mr. Rahul, but that is not the fact.
I
We
don't
need
need to. I'm asking
certifications
you,
from
sir. You say you are against extremism. Should people have taken out a janaza for the chief of Hezbollah in Kashmir and I'll show you those visuals, and the chief of the Hamas? Yes or no?
If it has happened, it's wrong.
If it's happened,
with
it's wrong.
calling it-
Viewers, did these people speak up? If it has happened, he says, it happened. Those are the pictures. There you can see those fellows who are being paraded with their pictures. Who are these? These are mass murderers. Aren't they mass murderers, sir? Mr. Kashani?
What are they carrying in their hands? It's pictures of Khomeini.
Isn't he a mass murderer?
And India,
Didn't he
and
back?
Mr. Mo-
Did he not
and
back?
Mr. Mo-
Did he not back
Modi
Hezbollah?
has praised-
Does he not back
and Mr.
Hezbollah?
Modi
I'm
has
asking you.
praised-
Does he not
Mr.
back
Modi has
Hezbollah?
praised Khomeini a lot of times.
I'm asking you.
Will you
Does
ask him?
he not
Mr.
back?
Modi-
No, hang on. Look at those photos in the middle. That is Yahya
The same-
Sinwar's photo.
the same
That is
Taliban
Yahya
which
Sinwar
was-
photo.
which was a
No,
monster
one second,
for
one
you.
second.
Now
I'm asking you,
now,
Mr. Kashani.
they are the
Again,
administrators of
whataboutery viewers,
Afghanistan.
whataboutery, more
You can-
whataboutery,
you can-
and most whataboutery. They will never give you a simple, straightforward answer. And I'm not making this about religion. Digvijay Singh is not a Muslim. Digvijay Singh is a Hindu. And what is he doing? Giving clean chits to Dhaka. What is going on in this country?
That is something Congress has to look after.
I'm not
the
demanding an
spokesperson.
answer from you, sir, on the Congress party. You don't have to speak for them. You speak for yourself. Let me open this up. Let me open this up. Look, I have an axe to grind. No doubt. I feel that the Indian government has been active enough, but that's a separate issue. I discussed that yesterday threadbare, viewers, but today, when the time came to show a united face, we couldn't stand up together. If you can't stand up together, why would anyone stand up for you? Why would America, why would the UK, why would any European country stand up for you? I want to ask you tonight, Sushant Sareen, before I bring in Sanju Verma, I want to ask you, what really is going on? Why is it that we are not standing up together when you see, and I'm not even talking about Deepu Das or the Hindus there, I'm talking about the Indian embassy, the Indian state that is today under attack in Bangladesh.
So Rahul, before I come to your question, just one sentence on something Mr. Kashani has said. I think it would be good if people like Mr. Kashani were to take certificates from other communities on their attitudes. This business that we don't need your certificate is a cop out. You need certificates and you should look for certificates so that, your bona fides are well established. And there's nothing wrong in looking for certificates from your compatriots. That is the first part. On your other question, Rahul, look, the kind of logic that has been given by people like Digvijay Singh, he's a serial offender anyways. But let me extend that logic and ask him if the flip side of that logic also holds. So, for example, when young Hindu girls are raped in Pakistan or in Bangladesh, and atrocities against Hindus are carried out in Pakistan and Bangladesh and other parts of the world, should the Hindus in India do something similar to Muslims in India? Because that seems to be the logic of Mr. Digvijay Singh, that for every action there is going to be an opposite reaction, and what is happening in India is leading to the kind of pogroms that are being carried out in Bangladesh. Now, the pogroms in Bangladesh have been carried out when even his party's government was in power in India. Okay, and all the accusations which are currently being heard were not being heard even at that point of time. And in fact, the maximum exodus from Bangladesh has taken place into India during the so-called Congress regimes. Okay, so the logic which people like Digvijay Singh and others of his ilk forward does not hold. Secondly, and this is very troubling, there is a certain self-loathing among a section of the Hindu community in India who actually think Hindus, and with them some of the liberal element, which are quick to jump, on issues of communalism when it involves other communities, but keep their mouth shut when it involves the Hindu community. So it's partly the outcome of a certain self-loathing which has been fed into the mind space of many Hindus in this country. So apart from that self-loathing, there is the factor that these are people who actually, there is the whole political angle to the whole thing. That for example, in a state like West Bengal, that what the electoral mathematics is, that if you have the 35% Muslim vote, you need only a 10% Hindu vote, and that is it. The rest of the Hindu vote is in any case divided.
Yes.
You don't even need it. So you only need the Muslim vote to win your election. That is another very major problem which is coming up. And then finally, there is the duplicity of the so-called liberal element, because they seem to think that genocide of Hindus or pogroms against Hindus is par for the course. It's okay. Hindus are untermensch, lesser beings. They deserve to be treated and treated the way they are being treated by these characters. But in case something else was to happen to other communities, they must raise their voice and do the virtue signaling, because that is what gets them the visas to Europe, to America, to other parts of the world. That is what gets them funding from international NGOs, from USAID and all these organizations. So that is a business model for them also. And that is the only reality why this kind of a thing persists. There is no consistency in approach on, and I would say, look, if there is an Akhlaq which happens, then by all means go after the guys who perpetuated it or who carried out that act. And I completely oppose withdrawal of the cases against the people who have been accused. You should try them, punish them.
Absolutely. Well, we'll come to that. We'll come to that in a little while.
Is broken, that's another matter.
That we'll come to in a little while.
Try them. You should not withdraw cases against people involved in these crimes.
Yeah.
I have no compunctions in saying it, and I think any government which withdraws those cases is not living up to its commitment to rule of law.
No, fair enough. That will come.
You guys say the same thing.
Yes, that's a big story. But I'm glad that you flipped this. See, I'm glad that you flipped it. And I want to bring in now Abhijit Iyer Mitra and the BJP national spokesperson. Mr. Mitra, look, I see it this way. That if all of India doesn't come out onto the streets, we lose an opportunity to also send a message out to our own government. That there is genuine consternation at the failure of the government itself to have control over the narrative or the elements in Dhaka. Do you feel that somewhere we have not been on top of the game in Dhaka, in Bangladesh?
We've been as on top of the game as we can possibly be.
Okay.
Remember in 1971, even after 3 million Bangladeshis were killed, mostly Hindus, even then we did not declare war till Pakistan bombed our western air bases. I think it was on the 9th of December or 7th of December, I forget what,
End of this.
1970. Right. So till then we did not declare war. Now the question is, what can you do if a law and order situation like this goes so badly wrong in Bangladesh? A, you deal with it beyond the cameras quietly, which I think we have done. There is a reason that Mohammed Yunus has come out and put out the tweet. Because remember, none of these foreign clowns who keep coming and lecturing us on how to behave on Ukraine ever opened their mouth about Deepu Das. EU in Bangladesh, Amnesty International, they took Osman Hadi's name. They refused to take Deepu Das's name. We noticed that, a laborer has been killed. That was all they said, with grave concern. They didn't even call for a proper investigation. So clearly, Indian pressure that has been put behind the scenes has had its effect, and that is all we can do. Now, on this program, several times, Rahul, you will remember I have told you that Mohammed Yunus is his own worst enemy. He's going to screw things up for himself, which he's doing remarkably well. Never interrupt your enemy while he's making mistakes. He's going on making mistakes. He's got a timeout period on the 26th of February. He's got to go. The army has shoved the election down his throat, whether he likes it or not. I suspect what we're going to see is a lot more coming, but initially the pressure seems to have worked. Have we deterred some of the pressure? Yes. Now, why is there more violence coming? Because the Jamaat and him understand Islamists and leftists have always had an alliance. They had it in Iran, they had it in the USSR. In the USSR, the communists came to power and killed off all the Islamists. In Iran, the Islamists came to power and they killed off all the communists. So they always, this is like gays for Gaza. Even though gays will be the first person to be thrown off the roof in Gaza, this is what happens. It's like chickens for KFC kind of situation out here. These people have come together, these NGO clowns like you and the Islamists. They are now in a race. The point is they want to deteriorate the situation so that the elections can be postponed. That is their game. Let us keep our eye on the ball. Ultimately, we are Indians. We have to keep our eye on the larger interests of India. And that is what we need to do. We cannot afford to get
We is
carried
the
away.
viewers. We is the operative word, not some. We, as the citizens of this country. So we can't have a situation where people are being selective, Sanju Verma. We can't have a situation where some people decide that no, it's worth for us to come out onto the streets, and others say no. You see, because Hindus are on the rampant here in this country and are somehow in some fictitious universe attacking Muslims, it's okay if they get it in Bangladesh. That can't happen.
Rahul, I'm so
Nothing
glad
is
that Abhijit
fictitious.
Mitra.
Oh, really?
Can I please come in? I don't know. There was somebody who was interjecting.
Please go ahead,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Kashani, who decided
Yeah,
to
Mr.
interject.
Kashani, you've had your say and I didn't interject. Show some courtesy. Thank you. I'm glad that Abhijit Iyer Mitra, without any ifs or buts whatsoever, categorically said that the Indian government is on top of the situation as much as it can, as much as it should, given the scenario in Bangladesh, which is still evolving. But I want to say this to you very responsibly, that 19,000 Indians who were in Bangladesh have been brought back safely to Indian shores, including young students. Should we do more? Of course. I'm never going to say that this is enough. Enough is never enough, especially when you're dealing with somebody like a Mohammed Yunus, supposedly an intelligent guy, a Nobel laureate, what have you. But deep down, as they say, you scratch the surface and the jihadi bit stares at you. And I'm not going to hold back my words. I just want to say this to the likes of a Digvijay Singh and a Rashid Kidwai, who said, जो यहां हो रहा है मुसलमानों के साथ, वही तो हिंदुओं के साथ बांग्लादेश में हो रहा है. यहां भी कट्टरपंथी सरकार है, वहां भी कट्टरपंथी सरकार है, implying that there's a hardline government here, there's a hardline government there. And then he says, अल्पसंख्यकों के साथ, मुसलमानों के साथ जो भारत में हो रहा है, आप देखिए हिंदुओं के साथ वही बांग्लादेश में हो रहा है. I want to tell the likes of a Rashid Kidwai, the likes of Digvijay Singh and the entire Darbari ecosystem. Point number one, do you remember in May 2024, the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council came out with a report, Rahul, which said that between 1950, 1950 and 2015, the Hindu population in India is down by 7.82%. But the Muslim population has risen by a solid 43.15%. मुसलमानों को यहाँ पर प्रताड़ित किया जाता है, but they've seen a rise in their population. Can you say that the same about Bangladeshi Hindus, which are reduced to a minuscule? Can you say that about Christians and Sikhs who have been reduced to a minuscule in Bangladesh? My simple point is this: the government will do what it needs to do. I'm not going to get into rhetoric that diplomacy is the art of negotiation, persuasion, iron fist in a velvet glove, what have you. Maybe sometimes you need to be reminded of what Machiavelli said. At times, the ends justify the means. Like I said, the government will do what needs to be done. But my problem is with those who give intellectual cover fire to radical Islamists. And मैं राशिद किडवाई जैसे लोगों को बोल दूं that in fact some of the worst riots in post-independent India, where Muslims were slaughtered, happened under the incompetent nose of the Congress party. Just 10 seconds, Rahul. The Hashimpura riots of 1987 under Rajiv Gandhi, the Bhagalpur riots of 1989 under Rajiv Gandhi, and in 10 seconds, 2006 Aligarh riots, 2008 Dhule riots, 2010 Beganga riots in Bashirhat in Bengal, 2011 Bharatpur riots in Rajasthan, 2012 Kokrajhar riots in Assam, and 2013 Muzaffarnagar riots in Uttar Pradesh. In all these riots, it was actually the Muslims who were at the receiving end, and all these riots happened under the Congress party. So the second point I am making is, do not lecture the BJP. Muslims are safer under Narendra Modi than they have ever been under a Rajiv Gandhi, a Pandit Nehru, or an Indira Gandhi.
Just small correction, Ms. Verma. It's not Rashid Kidwai, it's Rashid Alvi. So I just want to, so I just want to quickly,
apologies.
That's okay. That's I just wanted to make that clear.
Yes.
So look, Mr. Sushant Sareen, I want to ask you before I move on, how robust has the Indian response been, in your opinion?
Rahul, first, I think it's good that you clarified that it's not Rashid Kidwai. I don't think Rashid Kidwai, a journalist, would ever indulge in this kind of rhetoric. But I'm sure Sanju made a slip of the tongue. But it's good that we've clarified, otherwise Rashid would have been tossing and turning with his name being taken. But yeah, look, I think partly the problem has been, I would probably go along with Abhijit up to a point. But I think it's a strategic failure in the sense that, when we develop good relations with countries, we do not account for the possibility that relations can one day turn south. The kind of leverages, the kind of, levers of control that we must build up in other countries, whereby they are going to be thinking about 10 times before they're going to take any kind of hostile action against us. Or in the event that something like this was to happen, you can actually do plenty of things in those countries. We do not have that in our statecraft. Look at the Americans, for example. Even when they are the best of friends with some country, they will have their sleeper cells in that country. They will develop their, areas of influence in those countries. Look at the Indians, who keep talking about America even today, and how they suck up to the American deep state out here and do their dirty work. They've developed those assets. Where are Indian assets? There are a lot of things that we should have done, which of course we cannot speak in public about, which we have not done. And that is what I fault. And this is not just about Bangladesh. I would say this is about virtually every country that we are dealing with, or every neighboring state. We tend to have this attitude where we start thinking, okay, now that the relationship has improved, it'll stay good. It doesn't. And in international relations, you always have to keep a plan B and a plan C.
Yeah, like build diplomatic redundancies.
You don't really have a plan B or a plan C.
Okay, well,
yes, you can put some pressure, some moral persuasion with the others. But I don't think it's going to be effective, because what is going to be effective in Bangladesh against Islamist, crazed Islamist mobs is not the kind of diplomacy that we are talking about.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
It's not going to help.
I think one needs to resort to other means sometimes.
Rahul?
Yeah, very quickly, Sanju Verma, I feel that, you know, we haven't got our ace game to the table. Let's just put it that way, very quickly. Yeah.
You know, Rahul, very humbly, I agree to disagree with you. I just want to say that the Modi government did one very important thing on the 3rd of September 2025. And what was that? We said that the threshold now for CAA, for persecuted Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, Christians from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, will not be limited to 31st December 2014. We raised the threshold to 31st December 2024. And I think that is a giant step in ensuring that, you know, violence against Hindus does not continue unabated.
Once again, viewers, some people who say that is reactive. We need to be proactive and preemptive. I'll leave it at this, viewers, because I want to come back in the last 10 seconds to re-emphasize a point. When a man begs for his life or a people face an existential threat from a bigoted outlook and the world looks away, including many Indians here in our country, then viewers, that silence is complicity. It is morally unconscionable. All Indians need to stand up for Indians and for India. And they must also be seen to be standing up at a time like this. If you can stand up for every other cause anywhere else around the world, you must also have the equanimity to stand up for your own country. Only then, viewers, will your adversaries and will those that are trying to undermine you take you seriously, because they will realize that this country has resolved across the board to speak in one voice and also channel its energy to act in one way. Viewers, I want to move on because we're going to look at politics now and certain developments. Viewers, Priyanka and Rahul Gandhi may be each other's biggest fans, and some of those pictures that you see of their bonhomie, etc., suggest that they are even joined at the hip in some ways. They're so close, they're very tight as brother and sister. They may even see eye to eye on all things. But viewers, the Congress party doesn't view them from the same lens. Inside the Congress, the whispers are getting louder. And after serial electoral setbacks, especially in just the last 12 months, Rahul Gandhi is facing what many in his own party describe as a hard reality check. The chorus of Priyanka for Prime Minister is no longer confined to fringe voices. MPs are speaking up openly. A member of Parliament, Imran Masood, has come out and said Priyanka has been vocal about atrocities in Bangladesh. Make Priyanka the Prime Minister and then see how she answers like Indira. Just like Indira, Priyanka will give a befitting response. Priyanka wouldn't have let Bangladesh become an anti-India hub, unquote. Listen to this.
अरे देखिए, बीजेपी वालों के पास काम तो कुछ है नहीं. राहुल गांधी मेरे भी नेता हैं, राहुल गांधी प्रियंका जी के भी नेता हैं. प्रियंका जी के मामले में उन्होंने सवाल किया, मैंने प्रियंका जी के लिए जवाब दिया कि प्रियंका जी दूसरी इंदिरा गांधी हैं और प्रियंका गांधी और राहुल गांधी इंदिरा गांधी के पोता पोती हैं. वो इंदिरा गांधी की आंखें हैं. तो इंदिरा गांधी के चश्मे से अगर उनको देखेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि बांग्लादेश के अंदर अगर इनके पास कमान होती तो बांग्लादेश का हिंदुओं का ये हाल ना होता जो आपके साल टाइम पर हो रहा है. ये कहा था मैंने.
And when even family members, viewers, aside from politicians and others, are sending signals, then that tells you something fundamental is shifting inside the Congress. Robert Vadra, one would have thought would have played a bit of a balancing act. He is, of course, brother-in-law of Rahul Gandhi, and he would definitely have tried to be sort of a little more cautious in trying to suggest that he was in his sister's camp. But viewers, he wasn't. He came out and he championed Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's case for Prime Ministership and leadership of the Congress, saying that he always believed that she has the goods. Listen.
मांग तो सब जगह से है कि प्रियंका आए और मांग तो ये भी है कि मैं राजनीति में आऊं, पर लोगों अभी जो असल मुद्दे हैं उस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए हमें.
He confirms that there is a deep and abiding desire amongst Congress workers to see Priyanka at the helm. An expelled Odisha MLA written directly to Sonia Gandhi backing Priyanka. Acharya Pramod warned the party is diminishing by sidelining her. These aren't isolated comments, they are signals. The discomfort with Rahul is deeper than elections. Congress allies are quietly reassessing partnerships, worried about Rahul Gandhi's declining brand image and his repeated poll losses. The perception is of a leader who attacks India overseas, struggles to connect at home, and is unable to arrest the party's downward slide. Priyanka, by contrast, is being projected by Congress leaders now as a reset. Fewer electoral liability, sharper articulation, more accessibility, and consistent engagement. So viewers, all those points that you're seeing on your screens are the reasons why Priyanka is being backed. Obviously, she has more of a clean slate because she hasn't really commandeered the party into an election. She's been in the shadows. The one place where she was given charge, which was in Uttar Pradesh, the result in Uttar Pradesh has worked out better for the Congress. Even BJP leaders concede she's more open and amenable to dialogue. She is definitely more personable and wants to approach things in a constructive manner. This is Mr. Rijiju, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, who said Priyanka is slightly more pleasant in exchange of views and ideas. She even listens. That's what I have personally observed. This is no longer just a secession battle, viewers, or a debate about succession in the Congress. It's a crisis of confidence in Rahul Gandhi. And tonight the question the Congress cannot avoid is stark. Is Rahul, besides losing polls, now also losing the party itself? Let's open this up and ask some honest questions. I want to begin with Pankaj Sharma, political analyst, Sanjeev Srivastava ji also there with us. Pankaj ji, what do you make of this?
See, what Imran Masood has said is in a different context. Giving it a trickish twist by some people can be understood. See, BJP has been saying that Priyanka Gandhi comes in the parliament with the handbag Palestine written on it. That she raises the issues of Israeli attack on Gaza, but keeps quiet on the issue of the killing of Hindus in Bangladesh. So in this context, Masood asked, is Priyanka Gandhi the Prime Minister today? You make her the PM and see how would she retaliate against the killings of the Hindus
so you're
and
being
other
selective
minorities in Bangladesh. Meaning the Prime Minister of the day has the responsibility to take diplomatic or whatever steps.
But
he
Imran
feels are appropriate in this direction.
Imran Masood could easily come out and said, had Rahul Gandhi been the Prime Minister, we wouldn't have come to this pass because he's so much like his grandfather or his father and so on and so forth. No, one second. Mr. Pankaj Sharma, look, you're being selective. Leave aside for a moment Imran Masood. Rahul Gandhi's own brother-in-law says that there are many workers. This is the desire, the innate desire of the Congress today. And he's saying it on a public platform. He's saying it even though he knows that his brother-in-law may take offense. And you know, it's never good to be on the wrong side of brother-in-laws. So,
this is an old bite before Wayanad elections. He is saying, Robert Vadra is saying that
it's not an old bite, sir.
Priyanka in politics.
This is not a bold. No, please.
It's nothing to do with Prime Minister.
I'll play it out again for you. This is today.
Play it out again.
Yeah, we play it. Listen again, viewers. He said there are many people within the Congress. There is one second. Okay, Mr. Sharma. There are many people who are in the Congress amongst workers who are very keen. Listen in, viewers. This demand is there, he's saying. Listen.
मांग तो सब जगह से है कि प्रियंका आए और मांग तो ये भी है कि मैं राजनीति में आऊं, पर लोगों अभी जो असल मुद्दे हैं उस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए हमें.
मांग सब जगह से है कि प्रियंका आए।
प्रियंका आए मतलब राजनीति में आए। और
अरे
वो
सर
खुद
क्या
भी कह
बात
रहे
कर
हैं
रहे
कि
हो? शी इज
मांग
ऑलरेडी
ये है कि मैं भी
क्या
राजनीति में
बात कर
आऊं।
रहे हो सर? डू यू टेक अस फॉर बीइंग
This is an old
silly or
interview
something?
before Wayanad
No.
elections.
This is not a Wayanad election. This is from today morning. Please, he's wearing his. Acha sir, okay. You know, some people, viewers, are blinded by.
Rahul.
They are blinded by what many people would say, viewers, is obfuscation,
Play the
or the
entire
need to be
clip where
obfuscated.
he is saying that
Okay.
she should become
Oh
the
my
prime
God.
minister.
Okay. Okay.
Can I?
One second. One second. I don't want to open it immediately to the BJP because the BJP will completely eviscerate. So let me bring
Oh
in
my
Sanjay.
God.
No, it's true. It's
Rahul,
true.
sometimes
Because
indulge me.
no, I will. Sanjeev Srivastav, come on. Look, we all know now that allies are jittery. We've had the left, we've had other allies who are now squeamish about even standing and sharing the lectern with Rahul when he's talking about certain issues. You know what I'm talking about, the SIR, complete isolation of the Congress party. You had vote chori isolation of the Congress party. You've had, on a number of occasions, the Congress standing and fighting alone when its allies have decided to distance itself or themselves from the Congress's main thrust. Clearly, there's a lack of confidence in Rahul Gandhi, and this is sort of bubbling up to the surface. And whether it's Imran Masood or it is anybody else, and there were three other leaders, and you would have said to me, oh, you know, they don't really matter in the larger scheme of things. So, chalo, I didn't play the bites out. But now brother-in-law is standing there and saying there's a demand. So, clearly, there is something happening in the Congress. Shashi Tharoor contradicts him on a daily basis.
So, Rahul, very good evening to you and my fellow panelists. See, honestly, the one bite which you have played out, which is of some significance, because Imran Masood clearly wanted to say something else, and we are reading it, or you are reading it as a different kind of a sound bite. He was answering to a specific charge, and he answered. And Robert Vadra, we know is Robert Vadra. In the first sentence, he says everybody wants Priyanka Gandhi. In the second sentence, he says people want me also to join politics. So, Vadra being Vadra, and he has been consistent about his own interest in joining active politics as much as promoting. And why shouldn't he be talking about his wife, which is perfectly understandable. Other than that, the only serious bite or comment which you have played out is Kiran Rijiju. So to BJP, it really suits their
come on.
narrative to
Sanjeev
cut a wedge
Srivastava
between
ji, sir,
Rahul and Priyanka.
You know, you're also conveniently suffering from amnesia. There was a whole group of individuals called the G23. They all came up and said, look, something needs to be done. A Caesarean section needs to be conducted on the Congress. We need to go beyond. And you know what was said, and some people fell foul of the leadership and were even suspended. And that gentleman usually is in such suspended animation, even on our shows. But today he's not here. So you know who I'm talking about. So I'm asking you, Sanjeev ji, look, I mean, there's Shashi Tharoor who's beating to his own drum. There are others who have backed Shashi Tharoor recently in the Congress. So clearly there is something going on. There is unease. Priyanka is also bringing in, I mean, you just had a leader from Odisha. I have not cooked that up. He's been expelled from the party, from the most democratic party the Congress says, most democratic, expelled for exactly asking the same question.
So there are two issues there, Rahul. One is that there is clearly unease within the Congress party.
So ye boliye.
There is clearly the 9900 score which Congress got in 2024 election now looks like a memory of distant past. BJP does not suffer from the same kind of baggage as one thought 240 number would bring them, because a string of assembly victories has changed the narrative in favor of BJP and taken whatever little advantage Congress enjoyed after the 2024 election. So there is unease both amongst allies and amongst the party cadre. But trust me, I don't think that the brother-sister are fighting. Yes, some of their darbaris will join.
I'm not saying they are fighting, sir. I'm saying that they're joined at the hip. They are very close. They see eye to eye. But
it is as old as kingdom come that people close to one leader would try to promote them discreetly or indiscreetly.
Okay.
But the fact remains that both Rahul and Priyanka they come with their own strengths and weaknesses, own sets of strengths and weaknesses. Rahul is more ideologically committed. He is seen as the real
Are you saying
anti-Modi
that?
voice.
Okay. Let me just bring in the BJP on this point.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Rahul, first and foremost, through your widely watched show, let me tell congressmen, including Imran Masood, there is no vacancy at the top. प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की जो कुर्सी है उसके लिए वैकेंसी नहीं है, शांत हो जाइए. Now coming to Priyanka versus Rahul, yes, there's a famous Hindi adage, एक मयान में दो तलवारें नहीं रह सकती. And politics is about ambition, and I say there's nothing wrong in being ambitious as long as you're not cutting corners to get what you want to do. The limited point is this: what did Imran Masood say? He said, हमारी प्रियंका गांधी यदि प्रधानमंत्री होती तो जिस तरह इंदिरा गांधी ने पाकिस्तान के दो टुकड़े कर दिए थे, आज प्रियंका वड्रा भी उस तरह बांग्लादेश को सबक सिखाती. So first and foremost, Imran Masood, this halo around Indira Gandhi that is misplaced, because let's not forget this is the same Indira Gandhi who actually gave away 93,000 Pakistani prisoners of war on a golden platter and could not get back 50 for Indian POWs. But that's not the debate today. No. The debate today is this. In Rajasthan, we all know all is not well between Ashok Gehlot and between a Sachin Pilot. We all know that in Chhattisgarh, all is not well between Bhupesh Baghel and a T.S. Singh Dio. We all know that in Karnataka, nothing is well between Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shiv Kumar. And we all know that in Maharashtra, all is not well between Prithviraj Chavan versus Varsha Gaikwad versus Nana Patole versus Bhai Jagtap. So the limited point I'm making is Congress is in shambles.
Okay.
Now, who wants to take on the burden of a debilitated party? Good luck to them.
Good luck to them.
Priyanka Vadra, I want to say one thing, Rahul. Last point. You said Priyanka Vadra and you gave some good statistics. But in 2022 UP Assembly elections, Priyanka Vadra was the General Secretary of Uttar Pradesh Congress. The Congress got a measly 2 seats and a vote share of 2.35%.
I want to bring in on that point. That's an important point. Mr. Iyer Mitra, okay, fine. Rahul, there's a problem. Do you think Priyanka is the solution?
See, I don't know if she's a solution, but when you're rock bottom like you are with Rahul Gandhi, anything is a solution. When you are on the Titanic, the iceberg is a solution. So I don't know if Priyanka is going to save the thing, but given Rahul is the Titanic, anything is better than him. Number one. Number two, in the past, Priyanka has also been abrasive, but one thing I notice, albeit very superficially, because she's not really too interactive in the public domain, is that she seems to learn from her mistakes. She's willing, at least with a sit down with Gadkari ji, she was very affable and, joking and things like that. She isn't as abrasive anymore as she used to be. Maybe it's a learning process. Maybe it's a facade. I don't know. That time will tell.
Yeah.
Is affability alone enough to win an election?
No.
I don't know.
No.
But let us see. But like I said, compared to Rahul Gandhi, I think I should like to present myself for Congress president.
Okay. Well, let me tell you one thing, viewers. I mean, the Congress party has completely run out of ideas. They're going to run from one family pillar to the other. Then that tells you a little bit about the bankruptcy in talent in that party, which, whether it is Rahul or Priyanka, frankly, viewers, there's very little to choose between them. Pankaj Sharma ji will disagree with me, but that's okay. We can all agree to disagree. I want to move on, viewers. There is a very important story that I want to focus on tonight. And this is about Akhlaq, viewers. You remember Akhlaq, who was lynched, pulled out of his home on the suspicion that he had beef in his refrigerator. He was lynched in the public domain, viewers, by half a dozen individuals and many more onlookers. He was pulled out of his home, lynched. That was what was remained of his refrigerator in his home. It later turned out there was no beef in his home. It was a travesty. It was witnessed by many, many people. And within hours, the so-called accused, the suspects, were taken into custody. But after that, viewers, this particular case went down the shaft, got lost somewhere in the labyrinth that is the criminal justice system. And viewers, as you know, justice must be done and must be seen to be done. Now, after all these years, viewers, when the law should be equal for everyone, a Muslim, a Hindu, a Sikh, a Christian, we have a situation where the UP government goes to court and says that the accused, who were publicly identified by Akhlaq's relatives, they should be let off. Viewers, Sabka Saath means, and Sabka Vishwas means, that you give justice without looking at identity. And viewers, it is in that spirit that an Uttar Pradesh court today dismissed the Uttar Pradesh government's plea under Section 321 CRPC to withdraw charges against the accused in the 2015 lynching of Muhammad Akhlaq. In 10 years, viewers, that case has barely moved. The court called the application legally unsustainable at the evidence stage, ordering the trial to be fast-tracked with daily hearings. The court, in a massive setback to the BJP government, categorized the case as most important and directed police authorities to ensure full protection of all evidence. The court noted that a key eyewitness, Akhlaq's sister Shaista, has already testified and held that alleged inconsistencies or lack of weapon recovery were insufficient grounds to abandon prosecution in a lynching case. The order is a stinging rebuke. The Yogi government perhaps playing to the galleries, maybe the saffron galleries, the Hindutva galleries, tried to defend the indefensible. And here are some reasons why the Yogi government pleaded with the court to let the accused go. Said it was inconsistent, the statements by Muhammad Akhlaq's kin in naming the accused. Yes, viewers, the family one by one came out, not in unison, but in staggered manner to name the accused. The fact that no firearm or sharp weapon was recovered from the accused. But viewers, when 30 or 40 people descend upon one lone individual, you don't even need a firearm. The lack of any enmity or hostility recorded between the accused and the victim, that by itself cannot be a reason, viewers, because this was a case of Gau Raksha and so forth. The application also cited the right to equality under Constitution guaranteed to every citizen, whether it is the complainant, victim or accused, to withdraw the case for the larger purpose of restoring communal harmony, viewers. And I want to open this up. Rajat Sethi, I have to ask you this question, and please explain to me, how does this further communal harmony? I thought the only way you can build trust between communities is by delivering justice. If Akhlaq's alleged killers, assailants, etc. are tried, and yes, if they are deemed innocent, that's fine. But you can't short-circuit the legal system. This has happened in the Bilkis Bano matter, now it's happening here, and it is very cynical reasons, let's be honest. What is the BJP trying to say? That no one lynched this man? You're on mute.
Yeah. So, Rahul, my limited point is I will not take political positions on a matter of law. This matter should be seen from purely and as crudely as possible from what was argued and what were the points on which it was argued and what needs to be said from the Evidence Act. What the UP government, through its prosecution, was tabling was what Allahabad High Court had already established in writing when they were granting bail to the two accused. It was the same ground that was presented on this, and a permission was sought. Whether or not the court agreed to it is before all of us. And
so it's been 10 years. Has a charge sheet been filed?
I can go on.
No, I'm asking you. Charge sheet. No, one second.
For example, look at today what happened in
That's fine.
Case.
I'm asking you, at least.
Singer case, he's been let free.
Yeah.
See, courts have a understanding, and they.
No, one second. In this case, Rajat Sethi, prima facie, the court has said that you were not right. You were defending the indefensible. Some strong words have been issued.
No, I'm telling you, the verdict is still pending on that.
It may be so, but the premature move. But had these people
hasn't been settled so far.
I understand that.
It is with regards to a specific thing which the prosecution said that given what Allahabad High Court has already said on record, they were simply quoting that.
No.
Whether the new judges have a different opinion on that is a question of law.
No, 1 second,
And
1
law
second.
doesn't
Let's
go on
not,
emotions.
let's not.
That's how
no,
it is.
let's not.
Unfortunately, I would want to not see Kuldeep Singh
10 years,
getting
viewers.
bail. But today, Kuldeep
10
Singh
years.
also got bail.
No, 1
He's
second.
also an
No,
ex-MLA
Rajat Sethi,
of
that is a
BJP.
travesty.
That
But
is,
1
that
second,
remains
1
travesty,
second,
and
1
this is
second.
how our courts have been
Rajat
proceeding
Sethi,
with.
1 second, Rajat Sethi. The point of the matter is this, viewers. The test should be in court. It should not be outside of court. 10 years it has taken. And you have only interviewed the family members as witnesses? I mean, this case has progressed as if time is a luxury. I have to ask you today, the Samajwadi Party, Abbas Haider Saab, what is your view? Rajat Sethi says, well, you know, the courts sometimes get it wrong. Look at Sengar, poor fellow, this, that, the other.
Well, Rahul bhai, first of all, I would like to thank you on behalf of all the people who believe in the law of land, who have unswerving support and believe in the law of land, for taking this up. Certainly, Rahul bhai, this is very unfortunate that the UP government is trying to withdraw the cases against the accused, against the people who have done lynching of an innocent human being. This is very unfortunate. And we welcome the decision by the Honorable High Court, Rahul bhai. And this is very unfortunate. This is the same Chief Minister, we're talking about Mr. Yogi Adityanath, whose first decision was to take back his withdraw cases against himself. This is what he's doing. And this is going to give a very negative message among criminals, among people who want to distort, who want to disturb the communal harmony in the
Mr.
society.
Rajat Sethi, instead of fast-tracking a court and the probe, etc., the UP government goes to the court and says, no, actually, because, you know, this has taken so much time, let's withdraw.
So it's not that what has been submitted by the prosecution before the court. It is about the main witness and what the main witness has said before the Allahabad High Court, which allowed the two accused to get bail. Why did we not have this discussion back in those days when when the bail was granted? We could have had a session and we should have challenged the High Court and gone against on the bail
all
itself.
The accused was the government was
What
trying
was
to
the
withdraw
ground of
cases
bail?
against
You tell
all
me,
the
why was
accused.
bail granted by Allahabad High
So
Court?
that's totally different. You are talking
Why is
about
it
two
different?
specific
Why is it
accused.
No,
but
hang
here
on.
the government
Bail
was
is a
trying to
bail.
withdraw
Hang on.
cases
Bail is the norm.
against
Jail is the
the
exception.
tone of
Please,
justice.
you are
What
innocent
is
till
that?
you are proven
In
guilty.
this case,
But to
what
withdraw,
is
no, 1
established
second.
on
Rajat Sethi,
record?
you're drawing a completely wrong analogy
I'm
here.
not.
Complete.
Look at what
By
Allahabad
shouting,
High
it's
Court
not going to
said
help.
on record. It
Okay,
is the
it's not
main
going to help by
witness.
shouting. You can drown out everyone's voice, but
No,
come on.
see,
Bail
problem
is
that
the
you are
norm.
trying to
Jail
mix
is the
politics with
exception.
What happens from a pure evidence act perspective, that cannot be mixed with emotions. On emotional side,
No
we
one
can
is
all go on
mixing
the
up.
side of
No
the slain or
one
the
is
deceased.
mixing up emotions. In fact, the
Because you
court
can
is.
go on and
1
on.
second,
Why did
Rajat.
Bukhari
Rajat
was get a
Sethi.
free hand
Then
by
you
the
mean there is
Supreme
no
Court?
accused.
Why are you so
Person was
defensive?
linked.
Calm down.
Accused.
Because at
Nobody
the
has
end of
linked
the
that
day, it is
individual, and
only about the
he was linked.
evidences.
This is what the government trying to say. And you are trying to, justify that step by the UP
It's not
government.
about
That is bizarre.
justification, sir.
You should be
At one
ashamed of
time you
saying
say
so.
that the courts have been taken away. The other times you come in and support the
Viewers,
same
let me
court
just give you
system.
the facts.
Sir,
Let me
even
give you
when
the
that
facts. 1 minute,
case is again,
gentlemen. Just let me give them the facts. You see, viewers, this Akhlaq lynching case has been badly mishandled by the Uttar Pradesh government from the very beginning. The focus shifted away from justice for the victim to disputing what was in the fridge, by the way. Investigations were muddled, narratives politicized, and accountability was completely diluted. This is a fact. Instead of acting decisively against mob violence, the state allowed the case to become a communal flashpoint, undermining the rule of law, and viewers, eroding trust in the justice process. And the excuse that was given was that everyone is equal before the law, including the accused, and they have a right. Of course they do. But when your own probe has not continued along the prescribed path, when there are obstacles and when it has halted, how can you even come to the point where you can say that there is, beyond reasonable doubt, an agreement that these people are the wrong ones or innocents? That is where the court has stepped in, viewers. I leave it at this. But this is not good if you are trying to push yourself as a government of everybody for everyone, sabka saath. No, viewers, this is the wrong way of going about it. I leave it at this.
is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Pakistan alongside Bangladeshi Islamists in the heart of Dhaka, calling for the breakup of India, for the liberation of Kashmir. In Bangladesh, viewers, Islamist fury has been allowed a chilling free run. A free run that has brought out Hindi groups onto the streets here in India. You can see them. There they are, viewers, today. But the operative phrase here is Hindu groups. Yes, Hindu groups belonging mostly to the saffron folk. Indeed, viewers, when a Muslim is killed anywhere in the world, a familiar pattern follows. Hashtags trend within minutes, candle marches appear overnight, statements pour in from activists and academics, and politicians who claim moral authority over the idea of human rights. But when a Hindu is lynched, next door, or even in this country, when Islamist violence threatens India's own territorial integrity, that same ecosystem is suddenly missing in action. No outrage, no marches, only silence or worse, rationalization. Indeed, viewers, the Congress party's member of parliament has rationalized the lynching. What has he come out and said? He says attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh are a reaction to atrocities against Muslims in India. Situation in India and Bangladesh is the same. Viewers, if you ever wanted to give Muhammad Yunus a clean chit, here it is. From Digvijay Singh, Member of Parliament, sworn, viewers, to serve our constitution, not the Republic of Bangladesh. And another senior Congress leader, Rashid Alvi, he also rationalizes. He says there is a fundamentalist government in Bangladesh and in India. In Bangladesh, Hindus are being attacked, and in India, mosques are being attacked. Muslims are being bulldozed. So everything presumably is okay, viewers. Even in 2019, India didn't stand as one. Deepu Das might not have been lynched had he had the option to seek citizenship in India. But the Citizenship Amendment Act, or the CAA, could have been his ticket to life, but the law was opposed by the very same ecosystem that lectures the country regularly on human rights. This entire ecosystem is missing in action, even though it was out on the streets bemoaning the death of Hamas and Hezbollah radicals. Look at those pictures, viewers. So Hezbollah radicals and terrorists you can come out for, but not against Islamists who are threatening the very idea of India. In Kolkata today, the police that stood by when Muslim mobs protested the Waqf bill today use their Laathis to punish visibly anxious and peacefully protesting Hindu groups. Look at the way they were left, viewers. Beaten, bruised. Why? Because they were standing up for their own country. This is not about religion. This is about consistency. You cannot claim to stand for humanity only when it suits your politics. If outrage depends on the victim's identity, then it is not outrage at all. It is moral hypocrisy. If we claim to speak for humanity, then shouldn't we be speaking for all humanity? Because when a man begs for his life, or a people face an existential threat from a bigoted outlook, like they are today, viewers, in Bangladesh, and the world looks away, silence is complicity. And therefore, tonight we're going to ask some questions. And I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to first start with Syed Fazal Kashani, political analyst. Mr. Kashani, thank you very much for joining us here. I wish you were out on the streets joining the rest of the country in protesting what is going on in Bangladesh. But people in the Congress party, the wider ecosystem, are creating a narrative that, well, you know, it's okay because the same kind of minority bashing happens here, so this is a reaction in Bangladesh.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. After days of unrest, Bangladesh's interim regime is finally acting, not against Islamist mobs, not against radical leaders, but against India. Major protests broke out today outside Bangladeshi diplomatic missions. In response, Dhaka is scaling back services. We'll tell you how this internal issue became a bilateral one. Also on the show, what are the key challenges for India's economy in 2026? Why has Pakistan struck a weapons deal with Libya? What do we know about America's new class of warships? They're calling it the Trump class. And why is Elon Musk's Grok linking Prime Minister Modi to the Epstein files? Meanwhile, China is raising the stakes in the nuclear race. They have low